Hello and welcome back to the channel. We have now reached the final leg of my 3-part review of this year's K-pop comeback so far. I've resorted to using Daniel because 1, it's less time consuming, 2, I'm starting to hate listening to my own voice over and over again, and 3, this video goes over a whopping 80 something groups and soloists. Not 80 plus comebacks, it's 80 K-pop acts. I've saved these groups and soloists for discussion for part 3 either because I only had short things to say about them or they came back between now and when I first started this 3-part review. Now with that out of the way, grab a snack and a drink and let's get straight into my short but nevertheless unsolicited opinions about recent K-pop comebacks. I wasn't the biggest fan of their title tracks last year, so I am so grateful that they've returned to their debut sound and concept because this is Purple Kiss in their element, in their peak form. They are in their natural habitat. They are these ethereal songstresses and sirens enticing listeners with their beautifully sinister melodies until we just get close enough for them to snatch us away and keep us locked up in the blurry fandom forever. This has been living in my head rent-free ever since it got released, and I think that's just a testament of this song's longevity and timelessness even if it's still in its infancy. Purple Kiss's discography has my whole heart, but I can say with confidence that Sweet Juice is tied with Period as my favorite song of theirs. I loved Bet On Me's music video and the Easter eggs sprawled throughout, but apart from the bridge, the song is pretty mid to me. Same goes for None of My Business. Only Roojin was the highlight for me. Cake sounds like if you mixed Red Velvet's Birthday and On a Ride with Blackpink's Ice Cream. Given that this song was created by Black Eyed Pilsoon, I feel like it also sounds like AOA Cream's I'm Jelly Baby. I really like the music video, but I can't say the same about the song just cause it's not something I'd usually listen to. It honestly sounds more like a B-side to me. I feel like this comeback had a lot of lost potential. I mean, you had Black Eyed Pilsoon behind this song and this duo is responsible for basically all of Twice's greatest hits. Chungha's Gotta Go and Appink's holy trinity of I'm So Sick, Ungun, Dum Durum plus Dilemma. I also don't understand why JYP had all of his girl groups come back in the same month. Like, I get every company wants to capitalize on the summer months, but this is ridiculous making your girl groups compete against each other, especially after keeping ITZY in the dungeon for so long. They are both great songs, but I did forget about them for a hot minute because 1. It happened all the way in the beginning of the year, and 2. I do have to admit that they aren't big standouts in their discography to me. I've been a bigger fan of the recent Miss Amo subunit debut and I'm really excited for Queen Mother Ji-hyo's solo debut this month. This is what we could have had with Brave Girls in the early 2010s. Can you imagine a song like this going up against Girls' Generation, The Wonder Girls, Miss A, AOA, A-Pink, 4 Minute, 2NE1 and a bunch of other main pop girlies from the second generation? I'm sorry, but Brave Entertainment had no idea what they were dealing with until it was too late. One More Time is my new favorite song of theirs. It's got the pulsating bass line and beautiful synths and piano keys that I love for the melody line, and the song kind of reminds me of Deepened. I love that this feels like a huge rebirth for them and just goes to show that they have so much more to give. I will give it to them. This is a lot better than their last comeback. I can't help but hear Hi Ori's You Go Girl when I listen to the saxophones in the chorus. It's your quintessential summer bop from the Summer Queens themselves. But so far compared to the rest of their discography it doesn't stand out to me. Love it. Triple S are probably one of my favorite girl groups at the moment, even though that is a long list, and it's down to the fact that I can put on any random song of theirs, including their units, and know that I'm guaranteed to have a good time. God, I love this group so much, and I think it's cause they remind me a lot of Luna YY by Y and Odd Eye Circle units. I love the entire EP, but I think Deja Vu is my favorite. It was absolute trash that they weren't able to properly promote their debut, but I'm glad that the news basically rallied the entire K-pop community behind them. Everything about this comeback was top tier. This group is proving just how versatile they are, cause if you look at it, Athletic Girl Run and Rose Blossom are all drastically different. I hope they start to hone in on a concept or sound they think suits them the best, because I'd hate to see people lose interest in them for flopping from one concept to the next every time they come back. Side note, I really gotta love the fact that this song was written by Young K from Day 6, cause he's my bias and I've missed him a lot because of his military enlistment. Now that he's out, I'm hoping for a Day 6 comeback or maybe a solo comeback by year's end. Cupid was instantly love at first sight, but that was no surprise because I absolutely loved their debut because of their ethereal, almost indie and R&B vibe in their music. My heart breaks seeing all of their unbelievable growth and potential crumble before them. They had everything and more going for them with Cupid, and now they're stuck in limbo in this absolutely shitty situation. I'm actually not a fan of the song, but I have to appreciate the fact that it got Chaeyeon the hype and attention she deserved after receiving so much unnecessary backlash for Hush Rush. I do love that this song is able to properly show off her dancing prowess and reminded people of who they were dealing with. I also find it so funny how she had to change the dance challenge so many times cause people were saying it was too hard to recreate. I love Yena, but her hate Rodrigo just sounds so tired and rehashed. Also, this whole release was so messy. I think Wicked Love should have been the title track, especially cause I thought Love War signaled a new era for Yena to explore darker concepts. It's so magical and theatrical. It reminds me so much of Eyes 1 and that makes me so happy. However, I do have to wonder what happened to Will Lim's budget for Unbe. Another song that reminded me of Eyes 1. I couldn't be happier that Miju decided to pursue a career as a soloist cause I thought she was going to focus on acting post Lovelyz. I do have to say, all of the ex-Lovelyz members' ventures after disbandment have been top notch and have opened my eyes to realize just how much star power was in such an overlooked group. I think Miju and Soojong have been my favorite acts so far and I can't wait to see them flourish. Also, Soojong's album is honestly one of the best from this year, and I love that she was able to find a company that wanted to let her run free with her creativity, because look at what it birthed. Cube really was sleeping on an entire treasure trove with CLC and still neglected them. Cherry Coke is alright, but I know with my entire being that Yeon is capable of better, and I hate how because of copyright restrictions she couldn't even sing the song properly on music shows. At least she's getting attention from her appearance on Queendom Puzzle. Sunmi plus City Pop is a surefire recipe for success. Enough said. I really don't have much to say other than that I feel like this debut had so much unmet potential. The chorus elevated the song to a whole other level. This is probably their best title track in my opinion. It's so bubbly and light and so easy to listen to, and it never fails to cheer me up. Finally, a decent title track for them. I'm mad at how good this song is. I love it. This sounds like an Alan Walker song. Does anyone get reminded of AOA when listening to the song and watching the music video? This is leagues better than their debut song. But did we really have to wait almost a year for them to have their first comeback? The smooth R&B 90s vibe make it sound like an early Red Velvet B-side, which is obviously high praise from me. I much prefer Blue over Lemonade because I went into Blue not expecting much and left in love and crying on the floor. I feel like Lemonade is something Rocket Punch or Wiki Miki would have come out with in 2019 or 2020. However, I understand why Lemonade was chosen as the title track because it's got more commercial appeal. Could this be my new favorite Dreamcatcher title track? This deserves to be the opening to an anime. It feels like a grand finale to an adventure of a lifetime with epic proportions. The way they absolutely bodied this song. I really like that these girls know how to submerge themselves into a concept and take their time to explore it, cause this song just screams mother. Vocal production could have used more work, but overall this was a whole ass serve and a half. I've said this before and I'll say it yet again. We need more women groups in K-pop. 2023 is Card's year. Without You is like an upgraded version of Card's debut era sound. It's more polished and refined. And the MV low-key reminds me of SHINee's The Story of Light era. But then there's Icky. Lord have mercy on me. I haven't been this obsessed with a Card song this much since Dumb Litty. Jiwoo is just serving Joker realness. The guitar riff reminds me a little of FX's Rum Pum Pum. And the 2000s video game CGI quality actually is such a vibe. This is hands down one of the best music videos I've seen all year, and I thought Girl Gang was where their whole budget was funneled into. Ever since they did Mascara, I've been waiting for them to return to this kind of sound cause that song goes hard. This is the definition of camp and kitsch. It's giving RuPaul's Drag Race. It's giving club music from the late 2000s. It's giving everything. The girls have every right to boast this loudly about themselves and their success cause they've rightfully deserved it. There are a lot of similarities concept-wise and even with their brand marketing to New Jeans, but I don't think that should prevent you from checking out the song because it is really good and catchy. Also, the instrumentals in the chorus reminds me of Idol's Love You. One of the best songs of the summer in my humble opinion. Madeline fuses pop and city pop together to make it feel fresh and nostalgic at the same time. I think Madeline should have been their debut track because I think honestly was a bit lackluster, especially with all the hype their pre-releases had built up for them in 2022, and also given the long time we had to wait for their debut. Eyedi 1CSR and The Wind are making their mother G-Friend proud. I love their new sound this year because I've been severely missing my magical K-pop girls with music that sounds like it's straight out of Sailor Moon. This would have been great as a Japanese debut song. This is like if G-Friend had a little brother group. I seriously feel so old whenever I watch them. I can feel the arthritis kicking in. I'd say these boys pulled a New Jeans. They are exactly what this new generation is needing. After having so many boy groups go down the dark and serious route, it's so refreshing seeing the return of cute boy groups. Having the Maknaes of ONEWE and Purple Kiss debut solo this year was not on my 2023 K-pop bingo card, but who in their right mind would be mad at that? For Jiax, I love that he looks like he's having so much fun with it, and I like the Inception references in the music video. For Swan solo, it feels similar to something IU or Rothy would release. It feels like she's singing an ode to her younger self, which is so heartwarming. Her voice is beyond ethereal and dreamy, but also vibrant and cheery. Her voice is like the sun shining on a patch of meadow grass embroidered with daisies, bluebells and forget-me-nots. The album perfectly encapsulates the feeling of being marooned on a magical island and being captivated by its beauty. Like most people, I agree that it sounds like a Maroon 5 song mixed with a little bit of Drunk Dazed, and I think mixing those two vibes together created the perfect concoction for a song about being tantalized by the forbidden fruit. It's as if they mixed together the lore of the Lost Boys from Peter Pan and the Lord of the Flies. Thank God for this comeback. This is their best music video ever, and I want to praise whoever their editor is for all of those crisp transitions. As much as I love the boys, I was beginning to unstand them because I cannot stand Whisper and Thrill Ride. I am so glad that they've gone down this mysterious and sophisticated route that harkens back to Reveal, which is my favorite era and title track of theirs to date. This is probably an unpopular opinion, but I think this is one of Stray Kids' best title tracks ever. This is how you make a cohesive masterpiece with heaps of beat changes. At every single moment, you could feel the tight control they had over the energy of the song. Though I didn't like their debut and first comeback title track that much, I'm rarely ever disappointed by ex-Dinnery Heroes these days. I was immediately headbanging along to this song. I did like Haircut, but this just feels so perfect. I think this is their best title track by far, and that guitar solo is just too good for words. And I love the If You Seek It YOU part. Well played, boys. It feels like they've found their niche and what works the best, and I couldn't be happier seeing their progress. They've always had this rebellious edge to them, and I love that they've honed in on it and refined it after every comeback. The whole creation of T5 was such a meme. I freaking love Move so much. I cannot emphasize how amazing they did with this song. It's now one of my favorite treasure songs of all time, up there with I Love You and Orange. For Bona Bona, the music video looks like it's straight out of the 2000s. Like I was waiting for Pitbull to pop up in the last quarter to spit out a verse. These boys are bringing back 2000s and early 2010s dance club beats in the best way possible. The chorus feels very similar to Kill This Love, and the opening reminded me of Zara Larsson's Symphony. Cascades every time we touch, and X1's Flash. I also get some old school Shiny vibes like from their Everybody era in the verses. And the yacht scene with the fireworks reminds me of Girls' Generation's Forever One music video. A very icon-coded song. The footwork in the choreography is insane. Pop off, Kings. The beginning of the song left me disappointed, but then when I heard the 80s influences in the chorus I knew it was saved. After having two of the members appear on Boys Planet, I was hoping and praying that it would lead to more people paying attention to this group, cause they were one of my fave debuts of 2022. How do they keep getting better and better? That's it, they've escalated to the top tier of my stan list. It sounds like the opening theme to an 80s or 90s cartoon. It reminds me of Happy Together by the Turtles. It's got everything I love, and I already know I'm going to be obsessed with it and that it'll rank high on my Spotify Wrapped playlist at the end of the year. Words can't explain how much I love this group. I'm so in love with their discography and how they always do a great job at exploring different genres and know how to add their own flair to it to make it theirs. There's just something about having vocals behind a rapper going off. See Last Tears of Chaos for another example. This is probably my second favorite title track from them. Vagabond still has me in a tight chokehold. The chorus sounds so familiar, but I can't remember what it sounds like. As much as I like their darker stuff, like Slingshot is still my favorite song from them. I have to say this concept and sound suits them more. I miss DKB doing more bright songs. I absolutely love their melancholic songs like All In, Roller Coaster and Autumn, but I've missed this side of them and I don't think I've seen it in a title track from them since Worked Hard. This is not the energy of an almost 5-month-old rookie group. They look like they've spent years in the industry perfecting their craft. They really are following in the footsteps of Eyedi in becoming the next standard for performance. Based on personal preference, I prefer Kung over Do or Die, but I understand that Do or Die is a better fit for the summer. Side note, why are zombies a trend this summer? Like we had Blitzers and Oh My Girl and Psychers all in the same season have zombies in their music videos. Might be a coincidence, but it's weird that it happened 3 times. Oh yeah, this slaps. This is how you make a debut. This is a strong contender for debut of the year for me. Tic Tac is so fun and powerful. It shows everyone exactly what they are made of. They are unapologetically themselves and I hope they hold on to what makes them unique. Comparing their 2 title tracks, Tic Tac is in my opinion the better song. The lyrics for Excel are kinda corny, but I can't deny that it still goes hard. This group has got a certain pizzazz that reminds me of P1 Harmony and Eyedi, which makes me certain that they are gonna be big. Really hope their company captivates this really strong momentum and don't blow it again. I think they went very safe for a debut and I wish they would have delved more into their moon concept a bit like BDC. I think Wild Heart is the far superior debut track and I enjoyed it a lot more than Voyager. The second part of the chorus is the best part of the song cause I think it provides us with a look at what their special flair, even though it's only a small part of the song. But in all honesty, I think I can see groups like TO1 Gravity and Tempest doing something very similar, which is why I think they played it safe for their debut. How on earth can this group pull off a Monster X and Lovelyz concept so easily? And they are only rookies? Goddamn. I always love groups that are versatile and can master any kind of song they are given. I love the luxurious vibe that they have. Throw a Dice reminds me of Omega X. And Calling has that sleek disco vibes, which y'all know is my weakness. Also love that they filmed in Disneyland cause I haven't been there in probably over 10 years. It's a lot more simple compared to their other title tracks, but it's still so entrancing and addictive. And those soft whispers at the end are to die for. I'm surprised at how much I like this song. It's just so easy to listen to, but I love that they did the opposite of what I expected them to do. I like groups that keep me on my toes. Last year the only songs I liked was probably their debut song. The others I was indifferent to after a few listens. Now I can see myself keeping this on my everyday playlist for a long time cause it's exactly my type of vibe. Brand new music. I'm expecting a BDC comeback stat now that Unite and AB6 have made their 2023 return. You guys already know I love the 90s sound, so of course I love this song. Every time these boys come back, their title track becomes my new favorite song of theirs. I'm honestly so impressed with how easily these guys can switch up with their concepts but still have a distinct sound. I admit there are a few similarities to 17, but I put that all down to hype, so there is absolutely no reason for people to be hating on the members. I absolutely loved their debut and it's honestly so hard picking between Under the Skin and Firework as my favorite from them cause they both meet the criteria for everything I want in a song. And then there's Road Not Taken feeling like a rallying call. Jesus Christ, I swear their discography is top tier and that pre-chorus reminds me of an Enhypen intro. I swear to God it's a crime that they're this underrated. They've only come back for a few days, but why are the views so low on their music video? If you do come across them, please don't let the view count be a reflection of the quality of their music, cause low key this reminds me of like an early EXO winter B-side. I really want this group to work out given the amount of crap 4 of the members got put through under TS. It's absolutely sickening that this group isn't as popular as they should be. I swear if C9 knew how to properly manage and promote their groups, they'd be on the same level as Enhypen, TXT and Stray Kids. The song is filled with so much heartache and regret. It honestly moved me to tears, and that is why I believe it's one of the most powerful songs of the year. This song has risen quickly to the upper echelons of my favorite CIX songs of all time, which is saying a lot, cause have you all heard this group's B-sides? Jaehyun killed me when he said those ayos. So please stop doing that for the sake of my sanity, and how dare you look like James Bond while doing it. The disrespect. SM knew exactly what they were doing, putting these 3 menaces to society together and giving them the sexiest and most entrancing song ever to meet NCT's discography. It's been a while since we've had a new addition to NCT's Ho anthem catalog, and this one has just pushed its way to its top echelon. Let's be real. Taeyong basically became the face of SM's Damage Control as usual. I'm a bit indifferent to the song only because I don't usually listen to stuff like this. But I do appreciate that it feels authentically Taeyong, and I really enjoyed the lyrics and visuals of the music video. It's not something I've ever seen in K-pop and feels like we're finally getting to know what's going on inside this little alien's head. It's official. Mark Lee has the best redemption arc in the K-pop industry. The boy went from not knowing how to properly cook a fried egg to laying down and serving up a whole continental breakfast with this song that had people feasting for days. I'm just as proud as Gordon Ramsay is of Mark's progress. I've never imagined Mark doing a rock-inspired song, and now I don't know why I never did, because he suits the vibe to a T. Also, how does he manage to both clown himself and show off what an absolute musical beast of a genius he is at the same time? That's my humble Christian king right there. At first I wasn't a fan of the song because I was so used to a particular sound from Kai, but Rover really grew on me. Is it my favorite Kai song? Probably not, but that's all down to personal taste. After a while I realized just how Kai this song is. Like, this song is just made for him. MMM was seductive, Peach was elegant and ethereal, and Rover is more fun, goofy and carefree but still charismatic. And isn't that Kai in a nutshell? Jungkook, sir. Respectfully, please shut yo damn mouth before I self-combust from the sheer audacity of this song. Goddamn. And the song's entirely in English. Oh, he's really trying to kill us all. Side note, I love how he's just trying to win, so he's hard with whatever means necessary throughout the music video, cause honestly same. I feel like they could have gone another round of the chorus at the end to give it one final bang. If duality were a song, this is it. It sounds like a whole group is singing this song. I've known that Joohyun can sing really well for a long time, but this left me so gobsmacked and dumbfounded, cause how the hell can a man be this talented in everything he does? Like, that's just not fair. What an absolute banger. I have no words. It's what I expected and wanted from IM and so much more. How dare they put my bias and bias wrecker in a subunit together? Though to be fair, they've all been my bias wrecker at some point. This along with Dojae Jung's perfume is what I'd imagine it's like to be captivated by male sirens. I love that they slow it down and make the ending more dramatic, cause it just left me in awe. Well, more so than I already was. It's hard to fault SF9's music, but I do have to say that the song feels a bit basic for them. I mean that as in I can see other people doing a song like this, like Wonho for example. But regardless, song slaps as always. Da1 has really stepped up his game since in Song's military enlistment, cause he used to be a hidden vocalist in the group and now look at him. Also, the way I squealed when I saw Hwayoung with red hair. It's been ages since he's dyed his hair. Like, from memory I think the last time he dyed his hair was early on in SF9's career, probably in the Easy Love era, and that's at least like a whole standard contract ago. Icons back y'all. You isn't my fave song of theirs, but I'd nonetheless let it play. I'm just so happy that they're back and with a full album. I just hope they get treated better by their new company. I think Tantara should have been the title track and You as the pre-release, 'cause it just feels so quintessentially icon. I love the instrumentals in the chorus so much, I can't help but headbang along to it. It already sounds like a classic. It already feels so epic with the performance video it got. Imagine what it would have been like with a music video budget. Drowning is such a perfect chill Sunday morning song. Does anyone else get the feeling that Bobby feels more free? This just seems so relaxed and chill, and Cherry Blossom as well. But then I lost my shit when I saw Hwayoung and Sunwoo. I was not expecting a full Dashi reunion in 2023. Blue Moon is seductively addictive. I've always expected and wanted Jay to do something like this because his voice is so gentle and suave. Red Moon Kim Woo-sok has graced us with his wonderful presence again. Such a raw and emotional song that feels like he's pouring his heart out after a beautiful tragedy. You can still feel the love and respect he has for Hyuna. This sounds like a graduation song. It sounds like a bunch of guys having a high school reunion. And in a way it kind of is, cause correct me if I'm wrong, but this is BTOB's first comeback with the whole group. Ever since their appearance on Kingdom I've fallen in love with them and their discography so much. Jaw dropped. Body slammed. Mind blown. It almost sounds like a Taemin song, but the extra grit in his voice, the outro, and the music box chimes in the chorus make it feel more uniquely Jun. Why was no one talking about this comeback? I was really hoping that Jahoon would continue with what he did in Nitro, and this did not leave me disappointed one bit. He has such an angelic cherub-like face, but he can instantly turn on his Joker-esque alter ego. He kicked off 2023 in the best way possible. This is easily one of the biggest highlights of the year for me. He's completed his God tier, Dark Retro, Cultural Reset trilogy with Bad Love, Another Life, and now Killer. That's my king. A rarely used vintage retro aesthetic that reminds me of Fred Rogers and Wes Anderson. The feeling is so uplifting and motivational. It feels like an anime opening, and that is why I prefer it over Hard. But I really do appreciate the artistry and experimental nature of Hard, cause that certainly cannot be overlooked. SM is continuing to prove that they are the genre-bending masters of the K-pop industry. I also like that the music video for Hard feels like an old shiny MV except with a bigger budget and in 4K. Side note, imagine NMIXX doing a song like Hard. That would be legendary. I'm glad that one of my second-gen faves have returned. New Emotions sounds like a boy group version of Chung Ha's Dream of You. Yes, my kings are back. I loved Heal so much last year and thought that it was very much needed as the world was coming out of the pandemic and as the Rose was finally being freed from their old company. But Back to Me and Alive have made me realize how much I miss their more adrenaline-fueled side. The dark 80s and 90s rock band inspired sound and concept in Alive that's a bit reminiscent of DPRE and suits them so well. And that switch up in the bridge was to die for. Jesus Christ, I think Alive is up there with Take Me Down, She's in the Rain, and Shift as some of my favorite The Rose songs. Alrighty then. That's it for the video. I'm dead tired after making it, so I'd like to give a huge thank you to all of those who watched it until the end. It really means a lot, and I hope you enjoyed my reviews even if they were lengthy. Until next time, stay groovy, stay safe, keep smiling, love you all, bye bye.